These are colours, so are these. Which is which? Which do you prefer? Because we're asking right now, what is your favourite colour? Say about you. Let's find out. An interesting thing from the research showed that 1,095 Dutch people in a study, 40% of them preferred the colour black, and those, of course, were female mostly. The males, though, preferred blue. So the darker colours are often worn by Dutch people. How interesting. But what is your favourite colour? If we look at it right now, we have to get the ingredients first to see. See, the idea that a person's colour can reveal aspects of the personality is a concept found in colour psychology. It isn't really an exact science because there are individual differences. So let's see what red does. Red in general looks at passion, energy, confidence, and ambition. Think of things like hunger, right? If you're hungry, have you noticed that certain restaurants out there, many restaurants indeed, have a reddish type colour? And that's because there's a passion going on in yourself. There's a need for energy. There's confidence that I'm going to go there. Why? Because my belly is empty. This is what people do. Even as I record, there's a red button because I need to put a little bit of energy into this in order to get some feedback. When we're choosing red, we're trying to dazzle people in a confident manner. So we've seen and heard of the pretty lady with the red dress. There's even a great song called The Lady in Red by a fellow Irishman, Chris de Burgh. So when red is chosen, red lipstick on females again is very maybe erotic, but definitely very noticeable. This confident, passionate, energetic force may mean that there's an excitement or an adventure that's about to happen. It might mean also that a person is willing to enjoy themselves. We have a red Ferrari. There's adventure and passion and vitality in that too. So red is your friend in that way. Now, we mentioned blue at the top of this. What is blue all about? It's more calming. It's more introspective, trustworthy, and reliable. Blue is also the colour of intelligence. Blue is trying to be sharp and saying, this is it. I'm presenting it. It's here. What do you think? It's allowing you in a nice calm manner to assess things so that you can go, all right, this is fairly even. That's why if we go back to the Dutch study for a second, the males, many of them chose blue. That could be because men are more rational. I didn't say it, did I? Maybe the study is saying it. Whereas women are more emotional. But if that's the case, then why do we have black? We'll get to black in a second. But the possible characteristics of blue is that there's a stability, peace, and tranquility. And I can guarantee you as a man, that's not always the way we are, for sure. People, though, that favour blue are seen as more dependable and tranquil. Again, not exactly a male trait. So let's move on to its friend, green. Green is in the trees. Green can be on the grass. You could be seen as green if you're innocent, if you're not exactly the person that has all of it going on upstairs. However, in the colour psychology, green is being looked at as being balanced, practical, compassionate, and nurturing. If we think of nature, that's reflected throughout nature in many ways is the colour green. Why is that? Why do we have green on leaves? Why do we have green on shrubs? This is the question. But this is a colour that our brains perceive it to be, and that's the thing. All colours are not just defined as colours. Our brain has a little tuning system within it that sees it as green, as blue, as black, and so on. Now, going back to green, the possible characteristics is a person who appreciates nature, finds solace in outdoor activities. They're considered, in general, good listeners. They might also be focused on personal growth. So green could be a supportive type personality, a very welcoming piece. Now, if we think of, because we have 3 or 4 colours in now, green and blue together, then we have turquoise, right? So that's where it becomes a little bit more complicated. And also it's a colour that we can bring in with warmth and intelligence, so we can mix the two together. But what of yellow? Yellow is more optimistic. It's also cheerful, intellectual and creative. Yet, when I was younger, there used to be a phrase like, he's very yellow, which meant they're afraid. So where did that come from? We wonder. But then again, if you're intellectual and you're using yellow, you should know. Yellow's possible characteristics might be that you're bright and have a good outlook on life, you're positive, you're enjoying intellectual stimulation and challenges and even pursuits. People that are seen to like yellow, they're supposed to be fun to be around. Big Bird, he was big, a bird, and yellow. He was fun. Even though he was huge, he was certainly the one that people wanted to be around, even the smaller, more colourful ones. So yellow definitely pushes things out there in a positive light. What else has light? The sun. Yellow can come from the base of nature. If we look at the basic things before we recreated colours, mixed colours, we could see that sunshine, glimmers, yellow comes. Yellow is also in the daffodils, springtime, measuring a sense of vibrance and positivity and possibility coming on stream. Then we go a little bit off the colour wheel towards purple. Aha! The dinosaur, Barney, big and purple, similar to Big Bird. Why? Well, the personality traits are imaginative, sensitive, ambitious, unique. He certainly was. But if you have this at your core, it's possible that you are more artistic or have a richer imagination. You have a deeper sense of individuality, who maybe you might love people more so than most other people. This is where purple stands out. You might want to stand out. Now, if we look at team colours and we start putting purple with yellow, oh my God, what a contrast. But there are teams out there with that. For example, in my country, they're called the Yellow Bellies. Even though yellow is there, purple is there, they've considered yellow to be the most prominent colour. You might think differently if you're a purple person. What of the white? You would think that it's very obvious. But white is seen in the likes of clergy. A lot of priests wear white, the white collar, for example. You've got white chalk on a blackboard, as I was reared how to learn. You've got white too often in the sky where I come from because it's cloudy. But white is pure, and that's what we see at weddings. The virgin bride wears a white dress. White is simple, it's optimistic and organized. Well, is there anything wrong with white, you say? You're likely to value simplicity and clarity in life. You seek order and cleanliness. And if we look at racism, white seemed to be better than black for some reason. Whereas in the study we mentioned, black was chosen more often. Go figure. So those who love white are often seen as optimistic and open to new beginnings. They might appreciate minimalism, fairness, integrity, and all of these are strong pursuits for them if they don't even have them right now. White is a thing that is clearing. Think of our teeth, a lovely white smile. It gives us something to complement other colours. If you look at flags around the world, white is quite the popular secondary colour. And in some countries, its emblem or symbol has white defined there very clearly too. Pink makes the girls wink. But pink is a colour that's prominent by a lot of feminists out there. Why? Because it's considered romantic, nurturing, playful, and gentle. There can't be anything wrong with pink then. So why do I go at the colour? Well, possibly I do not have these characteristics. I don't have an affectionate personality or enjoy being close or having loving, warm relationships. Because people who favour pink are often seen as caring and compassionate with a youthful and playful spirit. Someone who seeks to bring joy and a sense of positivity into your life. And this is what I'm trying to do with this video after all. Orange. Now I like orange because it has enthusiasm, social and adventurous and outgoing traits to it. You think of the sun. It has orange too in the evening time. I love that time. You can have fun. Possible characteristics are you're likely to love being social and enjoy being around people. Yes, I do. There are also orange linked with your energy and loved, fun-filling zest for life. Cool. We all love orange, except orange men in the north of Ireland are not required to be nice in some quarters. So orange can be part of a jersey. I've seen it in my country, and it's perceived as a very attractive colour. But then orange can be part of the green that we mentioned earlier, because leaves turn orange during autumn or fall. Orange is also a time for mixing with red, that dashing, confident, vibrant colour. So orange can be eaten and then we feel good. Brown is another one that's not unlike orange because it's reliable, down to earth, stable and practical. Now, if you think of the things in nature, such as the tree trunk, which is brown, the little conker that is brown. If you can conquer something, surely you're down to earth. The leaves turn brown after the orange comes. They become crisp and then renew themselves in springtime. They go green. The mixture of colours and even brown as itself gives a possible characteristic of the simple pleasures in life, the value of reliability and practicality. Those who prefer brown are often seen as stable and dependable. They're strong in their connection to nature. And that's the thing about all colours. They are mixed together. I've mentioned nature in many ways. This is where the origin of these come. If you look around, go outside your door, you'll see that colours are there to welcome you. And you will see the reflection in that puddle of rain where you'll be able to go, what am I? Perhaps you're like me, a mixture of all things. Hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, well, watch more.